Ooh. Hey guys, I don't know if this is live yet. I'm just going to update my browser to see if it is. Excuse me if it is. Oh, let's mute it before I press that. Oh, there I am. Look at that receding hairline. How's it going, guys? Right, I can relax now. It's always a bit of a rush getting ready for these lives. Got my alcohol, so what can go wrong? I hope you're all doing well, and yeah, I think we should congratulate us all for getting so far in this lockdown. We've kind of gone through the hard phase. Well, I don't know. To me, the first week was hard. Then the second and third week were quite easy. And then last week I was finding quite difficult, actually. And then this week's kind of been a bit of a mixture. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to everything lifting and us having some freedom and normality. But yeah, I just wanted to wish you all the best before we start this, as always. And yeah, just pull this down so you can see one of Jonathan's fantastic control and shift designs. Control and shift, for those of you that don't know, is my my brand. I share it with my best mate. I am basically the face of the brand, and he does all the designing and all the logistics and everything else. So, so yeah, check it out if you haven't already. I haven't shouted it out enough recently in videos, but I should do because it's my own little baby. So, control and shift. What else is new? My end, nothing particular, nothing too exciting. As you can imagine. Well, no, actually, that's a lie. That's an absolute, complete lie. So Michelin invited me to take part in this sim racing on PlayStation Gran Turismo Sport. It's actually happening tomorrow night. And I have a feeling that Ollie Webb, who's in the race, yep, I know. there's some serious competitions. We got Shmee, we got JWW, we got Supercars of London in there. We got Jonathan Benson, we got Sideways Sid. We've got obviously Patrick. There's a number of other drivers as well. This is like the first of 2 European rounds, and then the top 6 go into the world race, which I think is in about a week's time. So I've got myself a play seat and a PlayStation and a wheel and stuff, and I've always loved Sims. I haven't played them really for a while, but they're just so addictive, and I feel so sorry for Lou, my lovely girlfriend. Although there's nothing really better for me to do at the moment. I've just been on that, and yeah, it just kind of, when I'm playing against people online, I get really like competitive. And so, yeah, anyway, that's tomorrow night. So looking forward to that ending, being over either way, whether I get through to the top 6 or whether I don't. I just want it to be over. But yeah, so tune in. I'll put it on my Instagram, but I think Ollie Webb is streaming it live on his YouTube channel, so I'll double check that with him and get back to you guys. Right, let's have a look at some of the comments, if there are comments. Oh, where are the comments? There are no comments. Oh, there are comments. Here they are. Sorry. Okay. Right, I'm just gonna. Hey, my God, my best friend Aaron Edgeworth's watching this. What is going on? He must be having an exceptionally boring night because he realizes this is live and he's not going to be on it. So it's very unusual. Wow, I hope you're feeling all right, mate. You haven't got COVID-19, have you? Like, you're watching a video of mine. Anyway, hope you're well, mate. So Delta Zabio 3, hey, how's it going? Let's look at some questions. Right, John Tandy. Hi, Joe. Been watching your review of the RS3. Just got one and must say it's very impressive. Nice. Yeah, the RS3's an impressive bit of kit. I think every time I drive one, I just kind of take it a bit for granted because, as with many Audi RS cars, they're so good at what they're meant to do that sometimes you walk away from it, not numb, but you just think, you just lose grasp and concept of how capable the car's just been because it does it so easily and without any fuss. Whereas you get out of an M car and you're like, oh my God, I almost died on every corner and I'm still here. So that's completely different. It's a different experience. I like the completely died experience. 1 second. Sorry. Okay, so let's have a look. We've got some questions flying in now. Andy J. Dunn. Hey, buddy. How's it going, mate? Nice to see you. Motec Performance. Even now, Mike. Mike, don't accidentally send me 40 quid this time. Finley Freeman Fielding. Best family SUV for 20 grand. Ooh, I reckon it would have to be, I don't know what the values are, but maybe like a 17 plate X330D. That's probably where my money would go. Yeah, something with a 30D in it. So, from Cam0208, manual M2 competition or auto M2 competition? When people ask me this question, I do question their question because I've got a manual. So, clearly a manual for me, but everyone's different. Go out and test drive them, see what you think. I'm lucky to get a lot of cars, so I like the fact that mine's a manual because it's different. If I had a DCT M2, it wouldn't be as exciting and as different as everything else that I get to drive. So I'm lucky in that sense. Just try what you try them both and see what you think. Delta Zabio 3, would you consider reviewing classic cars, BMWs? Good question. I mean, I've done a couple of modern classic BMWs like the Z8 and the 1M. But people, again, that's a question I have been asked a few times over the years. The problem is I'm 6'4" and I'm quite a big chap, a bit smaller down here, but bigger up here. And unfortunately, I just can't fit in most classic cars. So I've been offered, I was offered to drive a Countach years ago, for instance. I can't fit in a Countach. I can't get my feet in a footwell. I physically can't drive the car. So as a result, I'm not really into my classics because I just feel massively uncomfortable or can't actually drive them physically. So they've never really appealed to me. I love the way they look. I love the way they smell. I love classic cars, but they're just no good to me. First donation from Max Day. How's it going, Max? Have you got a Petrolhead Tours planned for 2021? Very good question. Well, let's see how this year goes, because the reason I didn't plan one this year was because of financial issues. Not financial issues, but just pegging back a little bit on the finances because they're not cheap. Obviously now this is dragging on. I'm not making any money at the moment. So it just depends on how I am financially later on in this year. Thankfully, Pete and those guys at Petrolhead Tours, will always try and make a space available for me if I can. So I really would love to. I mean, regardless, I'm going to definitely go on some road trips myself. But obviously, Petrolhead Tours is something that is a memory and a thought that's kept me going through these times. It's one of the major things. I really want to go on one. Yeah, they're very, very special. So hopefully is my answer. Alps and Pyrenees is probably my preferred Petrolhead Tours, but they're all brilliant. So yeah, probably not Scotland because I want to go. I just want to get out of the UK. So BJ Bolt, M2 competition DCT, way better than a manual. Manuel, spelt Manuel. That's well, there you go. So DCT it is. Clearly, that's a fact. Hi Joe, if you had to from Kieran Mosley. Hi Joe, if you had to choose, which would you buy out the new M340i Touring or Saloon? Both brilliant cars. In fact, the Saloon's always going to be dynamically slightly better, just a bit lighter, a bit lower centre of gravity. But I would always choose the Touring. In fact, for every 3 Series I think that's ever existed, just because I love estate cars, and I honestly think that styling-wise, BMW and Audi, and Mercedes, in fact, I think they all do. I just think estates in all 3 of the Germans just look better. So yeah, I would go touring, but that's just because I'm a mountain biker, and I like the extra practicality, and I also love how subtle a wagon can be, or not if you want it to be. Rolini, 79 pence, but no question. You just donated 79 pence, mate. Thank you very much. I mean, I don't know if there's like what kind of favours you want me to do for that, but oh, there you go, 79 pence, because I love you, but only 79 pence worth. Oh, thanks, buddy. I'm gonna get Lou's cookie for her over the next few days. So so she'll get to experience one of your cookies. Anyway, stuff. Got a new X3M. Got a new X3M. You really views on it. Getting it remapped. 630 brake horsepower, based in St Albans. Oh wow. I'm not sure if I'm reading that right, but 630 brake horsepower. Wow. I mean, I can't believe they've already figured out how to crack a S58. Well, I hope it's a reputable brand firstly, because I can't believe that they've already cracked that engine. That's amazing. 630 brake horsepower. I mean, it feels very withstrained in the X3M, so I can imagine that, by the time the M3 and M4 come out, the new ones, I think 600 out of that, 630 brake horsepower. Jesus Christ. Joe, how do you rate MMS suspension on a F80 M3 comp? From Jim Nimran. I think it's MSS, or is it MMS? I can't remember. Anyway, well, the ones that I tried on Imran's car were fantastic. They just feel very plush to me. But the ones on my car, I literally have only done a couple of 100 miles in that car since I picked it up from Imran 6 weeks ago or something. So, but every drive I've taken, every time I've taken it out, it's felt amazing. But I really want to take it out on track, because I think that's maybe where they won't be as good as, say, the stock or the AC Schlitzer springs. But I don't know. I want that. Obviously, I don't want that to be the case. But it just, because it's so nice and pliant and it feels great on the road, I just can't imagine that it's going to support the car on the track as well. But let's see. That's definitely another top of my list, is a track day above anything. Track day, I'm just gagging for a track day. Right, let's have a look. Whoa. Okay, we've got some Alexei Leshkin. Have I said that right? I hope so. Thank you very much, mate. £5. Really appreciate it. Once again, guys, I don't expect any donations, but as always happens on these lives, people start sending some in. So I'm really grateful for that. So thank you very much. Should be really drinking more every time I get a donation. Like, maybe that's what I'll do every time I get one big swig, because then I become more entertaining, or less, but more. Right, beer done. Let's move on to the hard stuff. And no, I'm not sponsored by Kronenberg. I know someone thought I was sponsored by, who made Brewdog? Can't remember. Anyway, right, let's get back to Alexei. Oh yeah. Oh, that tastes so good. I haven't actually had beer or wine for about 4 days now, which I'm quite impressed with. Alexei, hope you're doing well, Joe. Post-COVID-19, drive through the South Downs. Yes, I'm assuming that's where you're maybe based. But yeah, I never really make it. I think because of things like the M25, that are an absolute pain in the arse for me. Going anywhere down sort of Kent or South Downs way is a nightmare for me. But yeah, definitely try and plan something down there. I mean, I've got so many road trips running through my head at the moment. so many. I think there's one thing that's going to come out of this fucked up situation. Oops, did I just swear? Am I allowed to? I don't know. Is the fact that we're all going to appreciate life, normal life, a lot more. And we're also going to take chances. We're going to take opportunities a lot more. So should we do this? Should I go for a drive? Yes. Am I going to get up early on a Sunday to go for a drive to Wales? Or yes, I am, because I can and I will. So I think a lot more road trips are in order. Nürburgring trip is top of my list once this is all blown over, but not immediately, because I think I have the sense that I think every man and his dog's going to go to Nürburgring from all over Europe, any petrol head. Literally, as soon as we're allowed to travel again, that place is just going to be off the scale. So it won't be at that point, because I think it would be hell. But thank you, Alexi. I appreciate it. Whoa, lots of questions. Finley Freedom Fielding. Is it better to finance a 20k car or buy it straight out? I mean, there's a simple answer to that, in my opinion. Number one, have you got the cash to buy it straight out? If you have, then that's probably the most cost-effective way to do it, because you're not going to be paying any interest. And but there's always a but with financing. I know people tend to either be really against it or really for it. I was really against it when I was younger. I never bought a car that I couldn't afford. They were always shitters, but Auto Trader was my best friend and spent ages on it and used to buy things that I could actually afford. Sometimes I'll take out a small bank loan, but then that would be paid off in a couple of years. But I mean, financing a car, I think for me, it's for both of my cars, it's a no-brainer. My 7 Series is 95 grand's worth. Okay, with Tony Lewis discounts, it's 70 grand or whatever it was. But I could not physically afford to pay 70 grand for a work car, as 99% of any other chauffeur could not do the same. So I think for business-wise, it's a no-brainer. But even for personal uses, like a new M135, what are they, $399 a month or something? That's £100 a week. That's about 11 or 12 pounds a day off the top of my head. 11 or 12 pounds a day for a car that might be your dream car that would otherwise cost you £40,000, for instance. To me, it's always the smaller option sounds much more appealing. And also the fact that if you go for a 3-year PCP, for instance, at the end of about the second year, you can most of the time just hand the car back if you need to. And that to me is really appealing, especially at the moment. Look at these times. I mean, what are the values of cars doing at the moment? Are they going up? Are they going down? Probably going down. PCP people that are in PCP agreements are not too worried about the value of their sports car, because if the value's plummeting, doesn't matter to them, because if they're giving it back in a year, they've got a guaranteed value. So they're like, there's your car back, see you later. Whereas if they bought it and they're thinking, oh, well, by the end of next year, it's going to have 20 grand left in it, but it might actually only have 15 grand left in it now. So I think there's definitely pros and cons, but I'm probably talking too much. For a used car, if you can afford it, buy it, because the problem with used cars is APR rates and that sort of thing are usually a lot worse than they are on a new car. I think new car finance deals are usually a lot more attractive than used car, and that's why I always say when you get people going, oh, I bought an M5 competition, I got a pre-reg car, it was like 70 grand, so I saved 30 grand and but I'm paying this, but actually if they'd gone in and bought a new M5 competition, they would have got that 25 or 30 grand off as a discount anyway, and they would have got the new car finance package on it, which is usually a lot more attractive than a used one, because the final residual value is better, the APR rate's better. So you end up, I know of cases where people have gone and bought a 6-month-old approved car because they've saved on the RRP, but they're actually paying. And in fact, this was very common with M135s and M140s in the past. but they would end up paying more monthly than someone who has a brand new car. And that to me is just like, oh, when you hear that happening, you're just like, oh, you feel sorry for people. But, but I get it, because I used to go, you just automatically think a used car, it's going to be cheaper. It's going to be better value. It's lost. The other thing is, oh, well, you've driven it out the showroom, it's lost all that value. It's not. That's in my opinion, that's all bullshit these days, because the discounts are basically what you lose when it drives off the showroom. So yeah, but obviously it's brand to brand. BMW discounts are massive, as we all know, and pretty much every model they produce. I've even heard about CS discounts recently, which is just well, as we know, the M4 CS, they were throwing them out the back door when they couldn't get rid of them. But anyway, I'm going off subject. Back, Andy J. Dunn, £1. Big up yourself. See, Rollini, if Andy can give me £1 and you can give me 79 pence, thanks, mate. I really appreciate it. I love you more than I love Rollini, for sure. David Burke. Sorry, I'm catching up with questions now, so excuse me. Thank you very much for the $4.99 donation. Massive help, really appreciate it. Hi Joe, looking to change the back box and pipes on my 435i, very nice car. Any setup suggestions and any contacts in Northern Ireland that do the job for me? I don't know anyone in Northern Ireland. In terms of setups, well, I mean, you're not going to be limited with a 435i, because that was way before all these shitty rules came in. So you might even be able to find yourself a nice M Performance exhaust at a dealership somewhere or online that's new, or a used one that's come off a car that someone sold, or then you've obviously got your remissers. I'm sure there'll be used and new boxes available for them. Speak to Mike I think your best bet, honestly, is speak to Mike at Motec Performance. Message me on Instagram if you want his details. He will be able to give you a quote on a Remus exhaust for that car, as in like a delivered Remus exhaust, and hopefully he can point you in the right direction for someone in Northern Ireland that can help you with it. But otherwise, yeah, I think you can't really go wrong, because those cars, I mean, they sounded pretty decent stock, but because they had they've had so few limitations compared to, say, a modern 440i. You could pretty much go with anything. So if you wanted to keep warranty intact and stuff, I'm sure you'd be able to find an M Performance setup for it. But yeah, really nice car. And let me know if you're on Instagram or Twitter. Just message me and let me know if any of that's firstly helpful. I'll have a look in the comments. And secondly, if you want Mike's details, I'm sure he'll be happy to help, whether he can help you directly or point you in the right direction. Or Mike, you can comment on here if you're still watching. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. Tiro, oh my God. My God. Wait, is that Tony? Tony Lewis is here? TRL has been furloughed. No more discounts. Sorry. I'm miles behind am I miles behind? Probably not. Tony, if that is Tony and he's saying no more discount, don't believe him. There's always discounts from Tony. He'll be giving discounts sooner than later. If you don't follow Tony on Instagram, follow him, because he is quite amusing, especially his little walks around his neighborhood, where he basically says every house is his favorite house and he wants every house, but then he goes back to his house and it's pretty large. But anyway, and he's got a Alpine parked out the front. Naturally, as the best BMW salesman in the UK, of course, you're not going to have a BMW parked out the front of your house. Okay, let's get into some of these questions. David Burke, cheers, appreciated. No worries, mate. I hope that did answer some of it. But yeah, give us a message if you need it. Andy Lindley, what's the most tail-happy car you've ever driven? Ooh, good question. I have to say, actually, my Motec M140 that had the LSD fitted to it, that thing in the wet was a bit of a handful at times. It wasn't snappy, but it was just any gear, any input of throttle, it just wanted to rotate. So that was a pretty snappy car. Anything else? I mean, the F10 M5s, I haven't really spent much time in them, but when I have, those things feel like they just want to turn around all the time. What else? I must be missing something, I'm sure. Not really, I guess the more modern stuff. In fact, I drove a guy called John Markar. He had a Z3M Coupe. Remember those bad boys? The original bread van. And he has, I think he's still got it. It was a white one. There was a backstory to it. I think it was originally a road car. Then it was transformed to be a GT4 car, spec car, race car in Japan. Then after it had done years of racing, it was spec back. So it was a bit of a lightened road version. Anyway, that thing, I drove that once and it was in the wet in horrendous conditions on cut slicks. And in that car, you kind of feel like you're sitting over the back axle and you've just got this massive bonnet down the front and that lovely raspy straight six. And that thing felt, I mean, I was shitting myself, to be fair, because obviously you got no traction aids. I'd never driven this car before, and it was aquaplane. It was just, but it was fun. I mean, that's probably it. Yeah, that was a video that unfortunately never made it to the channel because I watched it back and it was so dark. I need to find that actually. I looked through. It was one of those videos I was just like, this is just. I think the sound. There was lots of issues because it was very loud. But yeah, that thing wanted to kill you everywhere. But it was great fun. Right, Tim. Tim Kerno, how's it going, mate? I hope you're well. Good to see you on the live stream. Would I ever go back to an M140 for a daily? I think if I had, I mean, Tim, you had an M140 and now you've got an M2, so you've done a similar journey to me. I mean, I've kind of been around the block a few times when I think that I had the original M2 as well, but I think I've always said to myself, if I won the lottery, which I don't play, and I had like a 15 car garage, one of those cars would be a really nice spec M140, because I just think that car is unique to everything else that's out there. It has its downfalls. It's not great in some areas, but it just has so much charm. And even when I got my M2 competition, or any other car for that matter, when you get in an M2, you kind of, you walk up to it and you're like, this is a special car. You get in, it is a special car. It's amazing. When you walk up to an M140, it's a completely different, even when you know what it's capable of, it just doesn't, it's like, it's a slightly odd looking 1 Series hatchback. And then you get in, you start it and you're like, And this is me who's driven loads of them for years. Every time it's just special. There's something, and I just love the sleepiness of an M140. I love how people that don't know wouldn't have a clue. So yeah, I think I would if I won the lottery, but I'd never go back to one unless values just completely plummet. It'd be a great little commuting car if you could, with the ZF 8-speed, obviously. But yeah. Okay, let's catch up. James Twitcher, how's it going, mate? Did I read out one of your questions on my Q&A? I think I did, yeah. I hope you're well, buddy. Another M2 owner. This is all Long Beach, so yeah. We got Tim, who's a Long Beach Blue M2 owner, and we got James, who's Long Beach Blue M2 owner. James's question: more wine, please. Okay. As you say, this is a £10 donation, so I've got to basically do everything you tell me for 10 quid. Well, within limits, obviously. Maybe after a few more sips, there'll be no limits, but anyway. Oh God, I'm drinking it like it's beer. Yuck. Anyway, it's nice wine, but wow. Anyway, more wine, Joe. I'm keen on a E92 M3 at the moment. Have you driven one? Thoughts? You know what? I have to be totally honest. I haven't driven enough of the E92 M3s. As in, I've probably driven I've probably driven E92 once. Definitely driven it once. I'm just trying to think if I've driven it more than once, but I haven't driven one in anger, and it's something that is bugging me, and I do want to spend a lot more time in it. I remember being quite underwhelmed when I drove one, and I know but that era is, I think, because of the lack of torque. They're the sort of cars a bit similar to the B7 RS4. When you drive one of them, normally they're like, oh, this isn't that quick, but you have to be right up it to make it go fast. But that's what makes it so great as well. Whereas, you get in, say, my M2 or any of our M2s, and an M2 is quick if you keep it below 4,000 RPM. Whereas it would be quite interesting actually to do a race on a circuit where the limit is at 4,000 RPM, because I think something like an M2, M3, M4 current ones would absolutely destroy the 90 era M3s, because they had nothing below 4,000, nothing even below 5,000. But that's arguably what made them so good. That's what makes them a great driver's car. So I can't give you my honest opinion on them because I don't know them well enough, but they've got to be pretty good. I mean, yeah, I have more and more time for them now, the older they get. And I think they'd be a good buy at the moment as well, because anything tidy that's E46, non-CSL, or even non-CS, they've started to hike up in price a lot. So I think, E92 is going to be next. So yeah, keep me posted, mate. If you get one, then we might have to do a proper video and review on one. There you go. That's a reason to get one. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I'd actually really like to do a back-to-back track battle video with one or something, because I think it would be really interesting. I was in the M8. No, that's not a fair comparison. But I was chasing one around Bedford a couple of months ago in that M8. I say chasing one, like obviously the M8 had 1 million horsepower, but I was behind one for a couple of corners, and God, they make a great sound when they're on full chat. Yeah, really, really good. Okay, let's catch. Oh, Schmark 150 in the house. Good morning, mate. Don't know why. Are you in Australia at the moment, or are you being sarcastic? I don't know. Let's have a look. Mozza 135. I'm assuming you own a 135, and your question might also back that up. Hey Joe, do you miss your first M135i? I do, actually. I think that car is responsible for me starting my channel. That car is responsible for me really getting my love back with the BMW brand. And I genuinely think, I can't remember who posted something about it the other day, something about the M140. Is it going to be a future classic? It's not, and it doesn't deserve to be, because the M135i does. The 2012, 2013, that is, if anything's going to be future classic, that would be it. Because if you think, that car came out 8 years ago, and it's still competitive in today's hot hatch sort of market, I guess. So I think that's the real cult car. That's the future classic. That's the one that has spawned these better LCI 135s in the M140s. So do I miss it? Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. I'd love to. In fact, that my original M135i did resurface down at the same dealership that I bought it from. And one of the salesmen there, who's known me since I bought it, actually messaged me saying we've just taken it in as a trade in. I think they paid $6,500 for it or something. It had done 150,000 miles, but hadn't missed a beat. 2 owners, me and this other dude. 150,000 miles. Just shows you, I gave that car some abuse for a couple of years, and great to see it. If I had the money, I would have actually bought it, because it would be like, well, I know the car. It's only had one extra owner, $6,500. I mean, it would be a tractor, wouldn't it? Just strip it out and... anyway, Wayne Gibson, opinion on the X4M competition. I haven't driven one. Personally, I think the X4M looks like a dog's ass from the back. It actually makes me feel a little bit funny, but it's an acquired taste. I just don't understand why. Well, apparently they drive a little bit better than the X3M, but I don't understand why you would buy one over an X3M, because I think if you're going to go big in SUV, then buy something practical. But if you're just buying it as a little run around a sports car or something, then just don't buy one. But I don't know, that's just my opinion. X4M and X6Ms, I'm like, oh, they just don't appeal to me at all. But I'm sure they drive really well. And at least if you park it with its bum against the wall, you don't have to look at the back end of it. So there's always positives, I guess. But yeah, not for me. And also, yeah, the X3M competition. It's a controversial car. Let's see. Corbin Williams, $5. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. I wonder if you're from Australia or America because of the dollars. With a name like Corbin, I'm guessing you're going to be Australian, but I don't know. Joe, the Donington Grey 730 LD looks incredible. Great colour choice. Just finished watching the review. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. Yes, it's a beautiful car. It's a sad car at the moment, unfortunately. I think I said in the video it hadn't quite done 800 miles. I picked it up first week in January, I think. It hasn't done any more miles since I shot that video, which was 2 weeks ago, probably, for obvious reasons. So it's going to be one of the lowest mileage registered January cars, I think, on the planet soon. But yeah, it is. It's a lovely car. It's a beautiful car. I kind of take it for granted how amazing that car is. Yeah, I really need to try and start driving it more, because although it's a chauffeuring, it's my business car. My insurance allows me to drive it for social, domestic and pleasure as well. And I very rarely use it, and I don't know why. I should use it more. But I think when I'm busy with work, it kind of gets clean, gets ready for the next job, whenever that may be. And obviously then, you know, it's a work tool. But yeah, in these times, I should really be appreciating it. Right, but thank you very much for the donation. And up, how's it going, mate? I hope you're well. Sorry, I'm skimming over some of these questions. There's just so many questions, and I'm sort of dragging on answers at the moment. Maybe I should have some more wine. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe that is the solution. Right, let's have a look. Where's Anup's question? Oh no, I've missed it. Anup, would you have a E92 M3 or a 987.2 Boxer S, both 20 grand for a good one? Ooh. Sorry about all the sound effects. If it was to replace my M2 competition, it would be the E92 M3 because it's more practical. This is the problem with me. As much if I didn't need practicality, I would have a Boxster I would probably have actually gone out and wasted my money on one of those horrible fucking sounding 4-pot bag of nails. What are they now? 719? I don't know what's the 718. I'd have probably gone out because they're just dynamically incredible cars. And the 987.2, 987 or 981.2? 981, I can't remember. But anyway, that generation, lovely, beautiful car, Boxer S. It's all the sports car anyone could ever need. But yeah, as an extra car, yes, please, I would have that. But as a replacement, say, for my M2 competition, it would have to be the M3 because I want 4 seats and I want a big boot. I want a normal boot. So yeah. Let's have a look. Paul Linduth. Hey Paul, how's it going, mate? Joe, what is the best Which is the best, the new Merc C63 or the older C63? Say 2014. I'm decided which one to go for. I mean, this is really a question that Raz Rockanar on Instagram, Mr. AMG, whatever you want to call him, he would be able to answer this much better than I would. But the main fundamental difference between those two, if we're talking like a 2014, I can't even think of the code name, but obviously that's got the 6.2 litre V8 that's labelled up as a 6.3, and then the newer one, which was one of the first AMGs to have that 4 litre bi-turbo in it. I think, as far as I know, speaking to Raz, the 2016, so the current shape, but obviously pre-facelift, was the one to go for. And that's why he's actually gone out and purchased an original of the current shape, because no OPF filters, none of that crap. A few other bits. I mean, that's he says that is the sweet spot out of all of them, and he has owned pretty much every car, every AMG. So that's what I'd go for. The newer one, like a 2016, but an early of the newer one. TRL BMW. Have any current F1 drivers bought an M2 based on your reviews? This is a very good question. Tony obviously knows the answer and has seen proof of the answer. It's not something I brag about. The problem is, obviously, I know that I'm very fortunate that I get a lot of people message me after they've gone and bought, mostly BMWs, saying that I was a help towards them buying it, or fundamental to them buying it, or absolutely they've dropped out of an Audi or Mercedes just because of my videos, whatever. And I don't talk about it a lot. I used to send a lot of my evidence and emails and stuff into BMW UK because I thought it'd be good for them to see how influential some of the stuff I was doing, but I never used to get any feedback really from that. So I gave up sending that in, and now I just kind of like see it and just go, that's great. But occasionally I get some really special people write to me, as in, when I say special, I mean like mega stuff, like crazy people that I'm just like, what, are you fucking serious? Like, and yes, recently I had someone, and I'm not going to name his name because I don't want it to be public knowledge at the moment anyway, because he's just a lovely guy, but someone quite incredible write to me and tell me that I was responsible for him going out and buying an M2. And if he knew, he just, I can't believe it. Anyway, I've had too much wine. Let's move on. It's from GUC. Oh, yes. Why can't I pronounce that? I don't know, tag. I think the X4M looks better. Well, there you go. See, that's the thing. It's a personal thing. If someone asks me, and I get asked this all the time, trust me, on Instagram, what color should my M135i be, or which gearbox should I go for, and I respect and I love the fact that people do ask me because they value my opinion. But the thing is, if it's a this or that, if they're the same thing, then you've got to make your own decision. I do the same. I'll ask my girlfriend, what t-shirt should I wear today? Sorry, which control and shift t-shirt should I wear today? At the moment I'm doing this sim race and I'm asking Patrick a different question every hour. So I question people about sometimes what I think of as silly things. But yeah, same X4M. To some people, it's going to be, a beauty. To other people, it's going to be a munter. So, I mean, to me, it's just a munter from the back end. From the front end, it's fine. Like I said, just as long as you kind of stay behind people and you don't, or if you do overtake them really quickly so they don't get a glimpse of that back end, then it's fine as far as I'm concerned. But that's just my opinion. Right, sorry, have I missed? Okay, what have I missed here? Let's have a look. One second. Okay, oh my God, I did miss something. Man like Nick, I hope you're still watching. Sorry, mate. I did see something flash up earlier on. I think my live chat's kind of like a bit all over the place. £19.99, you absolute legend. Thank you very much. Love your videos, bud. I've watched them for hours and then keep up the great content. Wow, you donate me 20 quid just to say that you really like my stuff. So thank you so much. That's really, really nice to hear and lovely to read. And yeah, well, I wouldn't have a channel if it wasn't for people like you and everyone else on here watching my stuff. So I really appreciate it. And yeah, I guess at the moment it's a good time. It's a good time for everyone to watch content. Yeah, before I forget, actually, and before I go off in 15 minutes, Petrolhead Tours. Honestly, if you haven't watched the Petrolhead Tours playlist that I've set up, if you haven't ever watched any of those videos, or even if you watch one or two of them, honestly, forget about ad revenue, skip ads, forget, it's not for me, because I don't make anything on them anymore, because they're such old videos. It's just watch them. They make you feel. I've watched them back, and they just make me like, especially some of the Patrick ones where he's filmed and edited them, where we're just two complete stupid idiots on a road trip. You get to see the beautiful roads. You get to see some great like drives and roads, but the comedy between us. I mean, reliving those trips are just brilliant. I spoke to Patrick yesterday, actually. That Patrick. And he's doing really well, and I'm hopefully going to do an actual Instagram live with Maguire's, because Patrick works for Maguire's, so stay tuned for that. I think it's going to be middle of next week. Sorry, itchy nose, excuse me. All right, let's carry on. Stop, carry on. But yeah, thank you, man like Nick. Big up yourself. Okay, right, let's catch up to the comments. So, what's going on here? Matthew Adams, 100k Porsche, 992 CS, 991, so 992 Cub Sport, I'm guessing, 991 GT3, 997.2 GT3, 718 GT4. Ooh. I'd probably go 718 GT4. Simple as that, really. Or 997.2 GT3, not 991 GT3, just because of the engine issues they had with those cars. Great car, amazing car, but I'm not into those engine issues. So, yep. Chris Murphy, hope you're safe and well, Joe. Do you possibly know of any track locations that have track day catering for disabled drivers? I don't off the top of my head, Chris. But yeah, are you on again? If you're on Instagram or on Twitter or something, drop me a message explaining exactly what you mean, as in like track locations that ever have track days catering for disabled drivers. So, do you have a track car or something that you use? Or are you looking for somewhere that actually has cars set up with hand controls and stuff, or whatever it is that you might need? So yeah, let me know. I don't off the top of my head, but I'm sure there must be something like that, because I know there's even like race series for disabled drivers and stuff. So yeah, keep me posted. Schmark one for Aaron. Well, Aaron's not still on here. What? He can't be. Mate, how bored are you? This is amazing. Man like Ricky. What? Is he on here? No. Hey, Ricky! No! He's going to... He'll be there going, why does he always do that? Why does he always do that? That's not how I sound, you know. Easy, Ricky. How's it going, mate? Hope you're well. Look forward to seeing you after all this is sort of calmed down. Yeah, we need to catch up, buddy. Congratulations on 300,000 subscribers, mate. That's awesome and massively well deserved. So, yeah, awesome, mate. Nice one. All right. I just saw a good question, but I don't know who it's from. Any thoughts on fuel prices? From Philip Hawkins. Yeah, I was talking to someone about this morning or last night. I can't remember. I mean, isn't it ironic? Fuel prices, great. They're so cheap. Woohoo! But when was the last time you filled up a tank of fuel? I mean, I probably spent 100 quid in fuel in the past 5 weeks. and I would normally spend that in a couple of days, especially if I had a press car, something easy, 50 quid a day, every day of the week. So it's great that the fuel's so cheap, but what do we do with it? Do we go out and buy a massive fuel tanker and bank it while it's cheap? It's interesting, but unfortunately, we can't really do much with it at the moment. Another nice donation from W Highland 74. Please tell me that you were born in 1974 and that there's someone in here that's older than me. I hope you're well, mate. Hi, Joe, long-time fan and follower. I really enjoy your content. So glad you're getting the subs that you so long deserve. Keep it up, and thanks from Dublin, Ireland. Stay safe and well. Thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate that. Cheers. I'm sure you're tucking into a Guinness right now. No, that's very stereotypical, isn't it? Thank you very much. Massively appreciate it. It's lovely to hear. I mean, I know I've got a lot of UK-based followers, but I just love hearing, this. It's amazing to see where some people are, and I know Dublin's not that far, but it's always nice to. It's weird when you sort of shoot content, you don't think of the fact that it is going all over the world, whether it be Ireland or Australia. But yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate your long-term support, and I very much appreciate your 17 euros of donation. It's great. That's going to go towards my next bottle of wine. Go towards, bloody hell, how expensive my wine. That's going to go on my next bottle of wine for my next live stream. So thank you very much. I appreciate it, mate. And please keep watching. Rellini. Rellini. Oh no, 1.99. Finish that bloody glass of wine already, mate. This is a wide glass. Like, honestly, I mean, it's a bigger glass. It's much bigger than you'd think. Like, honestly, I could actually get my bell in there. That's how big this glass is. Oh no, that's a lot of wine. But for 1.99, I have to do it, and because it's Rellini. Okay, all right. Ooh, nice. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So Ben Stinger, watching from South Africa. Thank you very much, Ben. This is what I mean. This is great. Any people from where, like, if you're not from the UK, then let us know where you're from. But yeah, like, it always amazes me and makes me really happy. And I know that YouTube's a global thing. I'm not that stupid, but it is nice to see that when I look at my analytics and you see some countries, you're like, oh, that's fucking cool. I've got to stop swearing as well. I think I've said the F word a few times now. So, okay, so what have we got going on? Chris Holmes, best looking M car from the back end. Good question. Definitely not the X4M. Definitely not the X4M. That's definitely the ugliest back end, in my opinion. M car. Best looking M car from the back end. Ooh, E61 M5. Ooh, that looks pretty good. Anything new? I mean, F80 M3 is always a safe one. I think that looks great. E46, especially the CSL with the little boot lid spoiler thing. Even strangely, I've got a bit of a hard spot for the M6, the V10. I think that looks. The front's starting to look really dated, but the back end still looks good today. Come on, you've got to make a decision. E39 M5 looks good. Oh, I have to say the M2 and M2 competition look fantastic from the back, apart from those tacky little reflector bits down the side that can be blacked out. I know. What am I going to say? Let's go with let's go with E61. E61 M5 Touring V10, boom. But that's probably just as much to do with the fact that I'm like, yeah, that car's so cool. So even if I saw it from any angle, it'd be like, yeah, that car's the one. Oh, yes, Andy Pearce, Z3M Coupe. Very, very, and we actually, I don't know if you were here earlier on, Andy, but I was talking about the Z3M Coupe. Yeah, because a friend of mine has one or had one. That's very, actually, yeah. That thing's naughty. Yep, that's up there as well. Nick M, what mountain bike do I run? I ride Saracen Aerial. What's it called? An Aerial Elite. It's their top of the range Aerial LT. It's an Aerial LT. It's full carbon, mostly Shimano XT. It's got dropper post. I think it's 160mm travel front and rear. Just, it does everything. It climbs, it descends, it looks the piece. But unfortunately, I haven't been riding it enough in the past year. Well, in the past 6 months anyway. So I need to get on that. That's what I ride. Right, another 5 minutes and then I'm heading off. So let's have a look at these questions. Mark Mansfield, another South African. Wait, have I already said? No, yeah, different one. Oh, hey Mark, how's it going? That's cool. Couple of South Africans on the channel. Nice. Well, I suppose you're on the same, exactly the same time zone or similar time zone to us. But that's really cool. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm from Juicy. I don't know how to pronounce that, but anyway, I'm from the horrific economic tundra known as the Northwest. The Northwest of the UK or the States? Let me know. Taylor 40667, Joe, been thinking of buying an Aston Martin Rapide lately. 33 grand, what a deal. Wow. Well, hey Taylor, I hope you're well, if that is your first name. Wow, that's a car that, see, I love going on Auto Trader and looking through at random things, especially older, bigger cars that are appreciated and just drop like a stone. But that's not a car that I've looked at for a long time. And I mean, I guess when you look at an Aston, a nice little Vantage, and they're like 20 grand now, then you're kind of going to expect an early Rapide. When did they start making them? 2012 or 13? Was it that early? I can't remember. Or was it earlier? But 33 grand! I mean, the problem is, though, it's going to break before you've even driven it. It's going to break before you even unlock it. Something's going to break in that car. But when you think of it as a 33 grand object with a V12 engine, it's something special. But, it's going to break. That's the sort of car that someone like Aaron Edgeworth, my best mate, or Sid, I'm not going to call him Sid North, Sideways Sid. Sideways Sid. That's the sort of car those two would get very excited about. And then give it a couple of weeks and they would then regret buying it and sell it on. But that's a cool car. I mean, that's what, well over 500 horsepower. If it works, which it wouldn't, but that's impressive. My mum's on here. Hi, Mum and Dad, I'm assuming. Wow, I didn't expect to see my mum's name pop up. Yeah. Well, I haven't actually got a glass of wine now, so yeah, I'm not sure what prompted you. You must have been watching me drinking wine before that, but anyway. Hi, Mum. Hey, Dad. Miss you both, and hopefully see you very soon. I've gone back. Oh, that's what I've done. I think I'm going back and forth. Here we go. Oh, another donation from Ronan Keane, not Ronan Keating. Ronan Keane. I'm guessing with a name. I was going to say guessing with a name like that, you're from Ireland, but you're from Germany, by the looks of things. Firstly, thank you very much for the donation. That's very generous. Generous. The wine, that Rellini big gulp is getting to me now. Thank you very much for that. Loving the live format during these crazy times. Thanks for the great entertainment watching with a beer here in Germany. Well, Ronan, thank you very much. I would cheers you, but I'm currently... Cheers. Thank you very much for the donation, and thanks for watching over in Germany. Looks like the Germans are sort of, as with everything, more clued up with this COVID. Well, no, I think the Swedes are actually the most clued up at the moment, but I know that's very controversial. But the Germans seem to be suffering a lot less than other nations, which is great for you guys. So I hope you'll stay safe, and we all get to enjoy some German Autobahn action. Wow, that was a really bad... I'm sorry, I probably just lost you as a subscriber because that was such a bad... accent. Right, last few questions. Yes, Rellini. Sid would blow it up and leave it on the M25. That's exactly what Sid would do. He would buy a Rapide, it would blow up, and he would leave it on the M25. Or it would run out of fuel, and then he would make up a story about it blowing up and leaving it on the M25. I mean, I'm not... potentially. Yeah, I'm not saying that's what he did, but, good chances are pretty high. M5. BMW M8 from Yavuz. BMW M8 or, with an E, M5. What do you like more? Well, I would personally have the M5 because they're just much better value and they're more practical. And I think they're cooler than the M8. I think the M8's amazing, but it's not that cool. M5 is always cool. Every generation of the M5 is cool. Right, last few questions. Henry Archer, hi Joe. I have a 2015 X5. I'm looking to upgrade to the new X550. I should get it for... should I get it, or maybe a different BMW SUV? Mate, if you can get the X550D or I'm not sure. 50i. Sorry, okay, yeah, I've read all that wrong. Yeah, I mean, that's brilliant. It's going to be great. And actually, I was about to get an X750i just as this COVID situation kicked in. So I wanted to experience that engine, see what it was. But the current X5 is the best SUV on the planet. It just is. There's no denying it. Even people like Harry Metcalf, who is a bit of a JLR fanboy because he works for him and he does a lot of, he used to work and do a lot of stuff for him. So, but yeah, even someone like him admits that the X5, like especially the 45E and stuff, they're just so much better, in my opinion, so much better than anything JLR. So, but yeah, stick with that. That's the one to go for. X5 for sure. M5 Comp or RS7? M5 Comp for me. And it's a lot cheaper. M5 Comp's got to be 35 grand cheaper after discounts than RS7. So you can't even compare them. I think that's the thing. I get asked every day, M5 Comp or RS6 or RS7, totally different price points. So I think most people that ask me aren't actually in the market for buying one, because if they were, they would know that an M5 Comp is so much cheaper than an RS6 and RS7. Because you're not getting big discounts on RS6s and RS7s. You are getting massive discounts on M5 Comps. So, yeah, totally different price bracket. And even before that's... anyway. Right. I think I should go now. James Dartnell. Shame you missed my hello message and question. Sorry, I would have... I mean, scrolling through the comments, I think I've literally missed hundreds of questions. As I always, it's the problem with these live chat. I mean, there's only 200 odd people. Well, not only. I mean, it's great, but there's not like 90,000 people watching this, but I just naturally miss lots and lots of questions, unfortunately. I go through these afterwards, obviously, once I've posted the video, and I realise just how many questions I've missed. But unfortunately, there's just one me. And I was going to say, and a glass of wine, but there's not even a glass of wine, so I've got to go and head off and get another one. Guys, thank you very much for watching, as always. How am I going to end this? Let's have a think. Stay safe. Well, let's see. The next couple of weeks are going to be telling. In my head, I really hope that they're going to lift some of the restrictions, because I think what's going to happen, and I'm not political, but I'm going to give my opinion, and I think what's going to happen if things don't start getting back to normal very soon. I know the chance of more old and people with conditions, the chance of more of that type of people are going to die, are going to be high if we do start getting back to normal. But in the long term, if we continue in lockdown for too much longer, we're going to have massive depression issues, massive. We're going to have huge household issues. And I was speaking to someone yesterday, and they were just like, it's going off, like couples, violent couples especially, things like that. You just got this. There must be so many horrible situations. Then that's before we even look at the economy crisis, because the whole world's going down the drain at the moment, but especially the UK. So we're going to have huge debt and financial issues. And as a result, that's going to cause more depression and more issues around the world. But the other thing that's going to start happening in your area, and it happened here yesterday, and I'm staying in a village with my girlfriend, one of the nicest villages. There's never ever been anything like crime here. Yesterday, the local co-op was there was armed robbery that went in there, and the local co-op was done over. That's going to start happening, and that's a given. It's going to happen everywhere, and in bad areas it's going to happen worse, and in good areas it's going to happen a bit more than it did. So I think that there's going to, because people are desperate. People have got no money, and so we don't want it to go on for too much longer. I just hope that in 2 or 3 weeks' time we're going to start getting back to normal. As in, we're not all going to go to a football match. We're not all going to go to an F1 race. But we're going to be allowed to go out and do our thing and be sensible. A bit like Sweden they're going about their way, but they're being sensible with it. They're not hosting 80-year-old birthday parties for 5,000 people, because that would be stupid. But anyway, that's my serious note. So I hope we are going to get back to normal, personally, because my business is going to go down the drain if this carries on much longer. So, that's it. I think anyone that's on a furlough or works for a big company and is still getting paid, you're lucky people, because there's a lot of people out there that aren't, and the government bullshit that's been set up doesn't cover everyone. It's all, there's a lot of, there's a lot of caveats in there. So, that'll be enough. I need to go and get some more wine. Have a lovely evening. What day is it? Wednesday? Doesn't matter what day it is, does it, for most of us? But thanks a lot for everyone, especially donations, as always. Really appreciate it. And big up yourselves. And I'll speak to you soon. Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.